So in that, if you're looking to, I want this type of dude, what kind of person are you to attract that?
Right.
Because they also have to see something in you that will propel them forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think
right. If I'm high value, why wouldn't I go for a high value?
Hear that Kevin Samuel talk.
Right.
Rest in peace to the GOAT.
Yeah. But he was on to something with that.
He saying some I was weak.
Yo, no, one time, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I just seen one of his interviews on TikTok earlier. And I think the girl had said, she had pronounced something like, yo, how else would you pronounce certification?
Certificate.
Like how? Like think about how else you probably pronounce
certification.
Like the way she said it, he was like
certification. I don't know.
Nah, hold on, we about to pull it up. I know we on, but I gotta do it.
Is it on the same tier of that KG?
Bro, it's probably worse.
Oh, it's worse than KG?
Yeah, Kevin Samuel, bro.
Well, she jacked it up real bad.
Yo, she botched that word on a different.
This is the journey. This is your moment. It's about time for us to get right. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Welcome to the cave, the Mancave, where we parlay, better on self. You're invited to the private conversations that happen inside while they outside sleepwalking. This is the apprenticeship. All of our guests on the show are here to share their journeys to becoming a master. So humble yourself and tap in. Come parlay in the Mancave.
It's a scam. How you making money?
I would even love to have this in the segment, cause for real that.
How you making money?
We got
bro, fix this.
We got fucked up.
How you making money off of something that's not gaining interest?
No,
where's the profit coming in at?
That's why I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, as much as I hate to say that I hate saving money, but it's just like, there's nothing wrong with having money sitting idle. But at the same time, like, if I was to put $10K away in January and come back to $10K in December, I would be pissed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm like, yo.
No, I need to move. You can move.
Yeah, no.
I feel you. But no, you need to save money though.
Yeah, for sure.
You should have access to cash, but that flower joint, that was criminal.
Yeah.
And they was having big meetings.
Yeah.
Criminal behavior.
I actually got brought in by. I'm gonna tell you, since we on the subject, we talking about the Susu and how I rocked our community a few years back. But
bro, that was pandemic PPP money.
Exactly. So I'm with my homie, and real stand up guy, you know. So
the stand ups got took. They got. I don't like using that word "tooken," but they got tooken.
Yeah. So, but I'm with him, right, and we on a job, right, and I just see his Cash App, ding, 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 just going off, right. So I'm like, he was telling me about it, but not to like join it, but just telling me that he was in it. So I'm with him each week as he's like moving like in. So he's like, I'm in the fire today. I'm in the fire. So by midday, people started like, watering him. So then, all right, this man, ding, ding, ding. So I'm watching him at least come up like 13,000 that day. So when I seen that, I'm like, all right, you said you need 2 people, right? All right, well. And it's like the way you rock, the way you do it is, if you get 2 people, y'all both of them jump in at the same time. So if I jump in this week, it's gonna push somebody else up. All right, then I got 2 homeboys with me who with it, cause I explained it and they know my character. They know anything I'm throwing my money in or whatever, cause I don't just be throwing my money anywhere. So they was with it. So then they would push me up, and then the one would come behind me. I swear I got stuck on the board like in the water, like right before I was supposed to get my money. And it's in there till this day. And I don't even want to say how much I went in with that. But that's definitely one of my financial stories of one of the all-time
The
scams.
pot.
Oh, yeah.
The flower.
And I ain't gonna hold you. I was in like 3 of them.
I'm gonna tell you this.
3 of them.
I bet you.
That get rich, and I ain't never get rich quick yet. Anything I ever came into with that mindset of get rich quick, it never worked for me. I never got my my moment of stupid come up.
I call that microwave money. You know when you put food in the microwave, it be hot quick, but you gotta eat it quick because once you let it sit, it tastes stale.
I think we should stop heating our food up in the microwave. So
I mean,
but yo,
you still eat McDonald's, so I don't even know what
you can't even.
Pink slime nuggets.
Funny financial story, bro. I invested in I don't know how to explain it at this point. It's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
But when crypto went dry, they had these it was a coin called Wonderland Tom. High interest, yield and interest.
I remember that.
And I put like $600 into it. And yo, I checked it the next day and the shit was just like $800, $900. By the end of the week, it was like $1,200. And like I'm thinking to myself like, damn, this shit crazy. And when I tried to take it out, because it was accruing so much money per day, shit ended up getting intercepted or whatever the case may be. But like,
what you mean?
It was just like the wallet address that I copied and pasted.
It didn't go through.
Yeah, and I didn't transfer many different cryptos to many different wallets.
Yeah.
I didn't got
gas
like
fees
Trust Wallet,
yeah.
MetaMask wallet. Like I have Coinbase wallet. I have Exodus wallet.
Yeah.
Like I have so many different wallets. I've transferred many different coins, many different currencies. So like I was familiar with the process. Shit got intercepted, and I was like, wow. I was like, that shit really never came back. I was like
somebody took your money.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
And that's why people are scared of crypto.
Yeah, you guys.
Because of that reason, like a bank, you can just call, and
you ain't got no customer service.
Right,
no customer
right,
service.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
Tutorials on the
your
app,
money gone.
Like,
If somebody
called,
can get joined,
it's
gone.
Yeah,
it's gone. And that's why people don't want to get into that space yet.
But I'm gonna see me. I'm the type of person like I'm willing to take.
Because it's kind of like anti-central banking, sort of.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I'm willing to like when they come to learning new shit and shit that could like be to that degree. I be like, depending on the L, I take it and I'll try to learn it or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like I didn't that's why I was transferring money through so many different wallets. I wanted to get familiar with like how to copy and paste these addresses and make sure that I understood like how long it was going to take. Because ACH transfer and banking is 2 to 3 days. A wire transfer, if you pay for it, send it out before 3 p.m. That's the same day, maybe the next morning, whatever the case may be. So I was like trying to familiarize myself with the next, big thing of currency and how to transfer and how to be familiar with that type of shit. Yeah,
because you can't just send a certain amount of. Man, I got a check. I ain't gonna say how much, but I got a like one of my first big checks. It took 2 weeks for it to deposit all the way through into. And I put it into a personal account.
Should have done that.
Right. You live and learn. But like I said, this is my first. So that took like 2 weeks for it to even like clear.
Yeah, check for $10K or
just
more.
because it's like, and then if I'm talking to customer service, it's like, oh, we got to go through these precautions because we just never seen you deposit this amount before. Like whether, like we know the check is not a bad check. We're not saying it's going to bounce. We don't see nothing wrong. We know it's going to go through, but you just got to wait through this process, unfortunately. And it's just like, it's crazy because that is a mean hassle, just knowing that money is there, but you can't access it for 2 weeks. That's a long time to just see some money deposited and you can't do nothing with it.
They give you a specific amount to just be like, here's this, but we got to clear the rest.
Sometimes they cut it up. They'll give you access 2,000. 5,000.
Right. It was nowhere near.
And then the rest.
What it was right. Exactly.
Yeah,
it probably gave me probably 5% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We got back and answer the insurance joint. We going back to that or?
Yeah. Break it down. All
right. So where would we at with that? Let's see the preview. Which I remember.
It don't even. No. Just
start over.
Yeah, start.
All right,
wait. Hold on. Just so we can kind of recap because she was into it. I don't want to make you have to start the whole thing over, but.
She was getting there, but she didn't even really get
I started over. Ain't no biggie. So there's two types of insurance products.
Right.
There's more than that, but there's two general, right? You got your permanent and whole. You got your term, right? Now, whole life or permanent, because it stays. Any form of that, they have variable, index. They have different variations of whole life policies, permanent policies. All of those variations, they gather cash value like a house. So you live in a house, your house gets equity, you're able to tap into that equity. That's what permanent and whole life insurance provides. So as I'm paying these payments every month, I'm building cash value within it that I could borrow from myself. So that's when they say be your own bank. You can create your own bank from your insurance policy and tap into money that you already have for any type of financial situation. That makes sense?
No, that makes sense.
Now, term policies, they last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. There's a time that it will end. Like leases, when you rent an apartment. If I rent an apartment, it ain't till I die. I mean, unless you got like, you know, unless you got like hood housing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Grandma got the house, you pass it down.
Right.
But, well, the apartment, but like it ends like a lease. Now, most, and it's variations of term policies. Most term policies, it doesn't carry cash value. So as you're making payments into it, that's it. Now, whole life policy, they're more expensive. You to get $1 million whole life policy, you got to be paying at least like $2,000 a month. $1 million term policy, because remember, you're also getting cash value inside that policy. $1 million term policy, and it also depends on your age. Let me make sure I pick that. You get $1 million policy, the younger you are, the cheaper it is. The older you are, more expensive it is because you're closer to death. Let's be real. $1 million term policy, could, depending on what the term policy is, could cost you anywhere between $50 to $150 a month, depending on your age and health. Because right now they're betting that you're gonna outlive the term, which most people do.
Right.
Most people outlive the term, and because that policy don't have no cash value, once it lapses, you have to start over. So when people say insurance is a scam, it's because they don't know the products that they have. If you don't know what products you have, you will think it's a scam. But if you know what you have, then you know what you can use it for. So people have term policies. I said, if you got a term policy, put that term policy payment on where you get your check from at work in that account the same day you get paid. If you know you get paid every second of the month, make your term policy payout, or whenever they come to get that premium taken out. That ACH withdrawal, make that ACH withdrawal the 3rd or the 2nd. So they get paid at the same time. Because once term policies lapse, that's when people think, oh, I had a policy for 10 years and it lasts for a month. And then, because technically you got a 30-day grace period, but you have a 30-day grace period. Most insurance companies legally have to provide that. However, you ever seen somebody actually, that 30-day grace period gone. They ain't paying no mind. They think about it 4 months from now. Now your policy lapsed and you have to start over. New age, new term, new payment. That's a term policy. The whole life policy, you have cash value in the policy, and your cash value, as long as you have it set right, you got to build your policy correct. You can have your cash value carry your payments because it's there. You get what I'm saying? It can carry your payments. Now it's not carry it the whole time, but say you got a rough 2 months, your policy won't lapse.
That's a gem.
It won't lapse.
Yeah.
And it's different types of whole life policies, like different types. You can use it. A lot of people like to use index universal lives, where they front load the policy. So it's like, all right, I make lump sum payments because you get interest. The reason why they do lump sum is because you get interest. You grow your interest faster that way. So instead of me doing, say I do $6,000 up front instead of $500 a month, because now I'm gaining interest on $6,000 immediately, not $5,000, not $500, then $1,000, then $1,500, then $2,000, then $2,500, then $3,000, then $3,500, then $4,000. You're getting all the interest up front. Like, it really depends. Like I said, the older you are, the more expensive it is. You smoke weed or you smoke cigarettes, the more expensive it is. You got bad health habits, the more expensive it is.
Right.
You got high blood pressure, diabetes, only above, more expensive it is. You like to do bungee jumping, they gonna find, if they find out, it's more expensive. You living on a testy life, it's more expensive, right? But if you get your insurance early, right? And I say this to anybody, like, that's what grandma got your policy, the Gerber baby policies, right? I know it was a scam, but either way. You didn't hear me say that. But
that word getting thrown around.
Throw it around. But nah, looking back, right, you got to think the earlier you get the policy, the better, because especially if it's a whole life, you got that policy, you locked into that price. And if you do a certain amount where you like paid up, like, I got to pay to this time, then you technically locked in your price. You're going to get the same benefit. You're going to get it anyway. So people don't realize, like, I know some people that like, oh, I'm not ready for insurance yet. I'm like, do you plan on having kids? Yeah, I want to. Do you plan on getting in the future? Yeah. So just budget it into your bills now. Like allocate for it now.
Right.
And I know some people don't understand it because the only reason why I even got into insurance because I worked in it. So I learned exactly what it was used for. But if you could, the earlier you can get it, the cheaper it is.
Right. Yeah.
And then now you could use it to your benefit, especially if you're using a whole life policy. I know people who have literally went to their whole life policy. They had no credit, but they had $50,000 in their whole life policy, and they went and borrowed from themselves. God forbid they pass away and they still owe that. They just take it out the death benefit. So if your policy was $500,000 and you took out $50K, they're gonna pay your family $450,000.
I don't see no loss.
Right.
Just $50,000 less.
Cause you've been paying, you kept up with your premiums.
Mm-hmm. Essentially. Alright.
That's just a couple things. So I'm just letting y'all know, like.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's just about preferences and what you prioritize in your life. People as a whole, just the consensus is whether it be car insurance, life insurance, they just look at insurance like it's a scam.
Oh, I feel like car insurance is wholeheartedly a scam. But that's another conversation.
I'll never forget when I paid my shit on time for a year, no accidents, and they sent me a renewal notice for my shit going up $20. I was like, what did I do? I ain't getting no accident, no nothing. $220 to $240.
Or if you pay, or if you got into an accident and the joint not your fault, you getting charged up for that.
Oh my God, bro.
Still.
They basically blaming you for being in the area.
They blaming you for living.
Yeah.
They blaming you for existing.
Because they got car insurance companies that want to put a device on your car to see how you drive. I'm like, yo, what's to stop somebody from putting a device on the car that don't even move?
That will actually give you more like off of your premium.
Yeah.
If you
you tracking me. I don't need you doing all of that.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't like I got into a car accident, bro, I was parked.
Yeah, real shit. It's so many.
And my car insurance went up. Yeah.
So
I was parked.
And it was proof.
I was parked.
Yeah.
It was a 5-car accident. I was the first car to get hit. I was parked.
Yo, that big crazy incident that happened with like Henry Ruggs or whatever the case may be, right? He crashed into somebody else, and I guarantee you, if it would have been a different outcome, they probably would have raised their insurance because you was in the wrong place wrong time.
Right.
Like,
wrong place, wrong
what
time.
do that have to do with that person if they was just chilling, doing what they were supposed to be doing, whatever the case may be? Like, it be stuff that be happening. I just be thinking to myself, like, it's no way you just went up on my premium because I was in the wrong place, wrong time.
Nah,
it got to be something in the fine print that says that. You know,
it's wild.
Yeah, it has to be something in the fine
They
print.
do that on purpose.
Yeah, that's how they get their money.
And they don't want to pay out.
Right.
When it's time, they do that on purpose.
Right.
But type it in. Like, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. You out here walking liabilities?
No, I try not to. I used to get called.
I mean, y'all insured?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Good. That's good to know.
Absolutely.
That's it.
You said no.
No.
Oh yeah, you said you just, but you ain't understand it all the way. That's how you started your question.
Yeah,
you,
for sure.
But you got in.
It's like you get it, but it's like you don't really know what it entails or like what you have available.
Just like you got
you.
something.
Right.
Now, I advise all of y'all, like, if you have insurance, go and pick up your policy and go read it.
Okay.
You talking about like the fine print? You talking about?
You about to make me increase my joint? Honestly, that's what it sounded like. Like you about to make me go ahead and do that.
That's the only, to be honest. Besides passing down like actual real estate assets, I'm gonna pass down money debt free that way because there's no taxes on life insurance benefits.
Right.
So that's where that generational wealth gonna come from. Y'all gonna get my benefit, and we're gonna keep that going. And whatever real estate I pass down, that's gonna be for y'all. If I build out a business that's actively paying out, that's gonna be, for the most part, I don't really. Yeah. I'm looking more to have real estate that's paying out continuously, and then you figure out what you want to do. Cause like I said, I'm not gonna force somebody to do something I don't want to. So say I build this business with hypothetically, I build the business up with a cleaning service business, right? And my kids hate that. They don't want to do that. Okay. You don't have to. Find something you like to do. But I will create an income source that now you don't ever have to. If you don't want to work, you don't have to. It's like if you maintain a modest lifestyle, you could live cool.
Right.
But if you think it's about to be balling like the Hiltons, No, I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
We're not doing that. Like, it's
Yeah.
not happening here.
Right.
You can build off what I create, and we can continue to build
That's
that
it.
way.
Exactly.
That's what
Because
you know.
when you gone, you want to make sure someone there to keep the lineage going.
Exactly.
You know? 'Cause that's what
and we
happens
could pass
too
that
often.
on.
Too often people pass and then someone end up coming in and just swooping in and getting everything you built.
That's why you gotta have.
Family just let it go. They don't want to deal with it.
You gotta have certain things in place.
Yeah.
It's definitely certain things.
Like
in place,
I think it's insane that everything that Michael Jackson died for and fought for, his family just sold all that away.
You mean
back to the record like labels,
I'm mixed feelings
like
about
his
that.
estates and stuff like that.
I don't think they sold all of it. I don't think they sold. They sold all of it.
Like yeah.
Mancave family don't
Yeah.
fuck around about him. You try to use the sample, boy, you getting sued.
Sued.
Yeah, they don't play
Big
the
sued.
game.
They like that sound like sound like Marvin Gaye.
Mm-hmm.
They be like
I
the
wouldn't
courts
even come
gotta
close.
prove it.
Anything that sound remotely close to Marvin Gaye, I'm not putting that shit on my song or my artist, bro. I'm not.
Like I don't think they own cause you remember he
They sold his
went and bought
catalog.
the, Beatles catalog and stuff like that. I think they gave that back. They sold that back to the.
I think they sold it, but they sold for like, was it like half a bill?
That's some money.
I know a lot of artists are selling their catalogs now. I don't know.
Mhm.
I know it's because they might not get that much for it later.
I look at it as
A lot of
though
shit don't age
I
well.
look at it like when Future did it. Future sold it from 2015 to 22. So not all of it, but his prime. So I look at it as though he didn't announce it, but this is just me speculating. I look at that as though he was trying to get into some type of business venture or invest in something that was $50 million, and I think he sold that because he needed that capital for something.
He only got 50 million for that?
Yeah, it was $50 million.
Really?
Really? For
Mhm.
Future?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as I don't like Future, I feel like his catalog.
I mean, you got to think. We talking
had a
what,
lot
like
of hits.
6-7 years?
he had a lot of hits. As much as
Well,
I.
Justin Bieber sold his whole catalog for like what, 200 M's. So it's just about what you think.
This
These
word.
artists might not just be worth what we think they are, though.
That's I
That's
mean,
that's another
as like I said,
conversation.
as much as I don't like Future,
Oh, you don't like Pluto?
no.
Why not? I'm just curious.
Nah, I don't
Not
like.
yet,
Future.
but
I
that's
don't
crazy.
like. I'm old school,
Okay.
and I ain't saying like I'm old school, like back in the day, my music, because the music been getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, some of the stuff they say, like when I sit down and listen, like I be like, I can't listen to this, man. I gotta change this. Like it's just outlandish. Like he was literally telling y'all like
When
Molly
did that
Perkins.
feeling start for you?
Yeah, it's like
In
the
music.
when the mumble rapping started heavy.
Okay. So like
I wasn't
2012-ish.
understanding what they was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and then it got
Oh yeah.
worse.
Yeah. I think it's because
And then when I started seeing people
down
do
south
lots
took
of-
the sound, and if you talk to people that's from down south, I've literally had conversations with them down there in Atlanta, and like they really talk like they rap. Like
it ain't even
you
that.
can hardly hear what they're
It's what
saying.
you saying.
Yeah, like right, like you can't tell what they're saying or any of
Nah, I ain't
that.
with the Future now. I ain't with. I don't
Yeah.
like them.
But the thing is, Future actually is intelligent,
I believe you.
which makes it, I guess,
Worse.
right? What makes it worse?
I put it like this.
Yeah,
I put it like this, right? I truly believe that you can have a good time and not spew hate, violence, and drugs.
Mm.
And if you're a real artist, you can do that. The fact
Right.
that you're lazy and decide that that's all you want to talk about is a problem.
I'm gonna tell you this: some people got egos too. I think a lot of artists get off on being looked at as a certain.
As a thug
Yeah.
or as I'm gang banging, that
Yeah,
shit
they
is
get
trash.
A lot of
Like I said, I told y'all, I don't let me speak my mind for real.
No, you need to. This Mancave parlay. That's what we do.
Nah, it's too
They
much.
say it's highly controversial. I love
Alright,
it.
I put it like
I
this.
love it.
I put it like
We
this.
serve
Like,
controversial.
it's gonna sound crazy. I don't feel like.
This need to be taught because I kind of feel the same way.
Alright, me put it like this, right? Financial literacy is not talked about in the community. I have a whole beef with Diddy, but that's a whole nother conversation, right? Whole beef. He
Catching
don't
a
know.
stray.
He catches strays on
Yeah,
there,
he's
right?
catching a stray.
So my thing is, right, a lot of times things don't get pushed until people they be gatekeeping until they get to their peak.
Right.
And then they try to, but you could have brought people up along the way with the conversation you was having. Now all this gang shit, like
absolutely,
a lot of stuff keeps getting pushed to the forefront because we have to maintain this image that we push out that is cool, this, that, and the third, guns this, guns that. When I feel like all of that stuff is unnecessary, we still out here shooting each other. Like, come on, give me a break, bro. Like, and this gonna sound wild, right? I truly believe this. I believe this for the longest time. I never said this out loud publicly. So y'all getting this Shedah 3 exclusive because I've never said this publicly. I truly believe that if every person in a gang had a $500,000 life insurance policy, half of that gang shit would stop.
Yo, that's crazy.
When you was, spitting your knowledge, giving game to your class earlier, I heard you talking about a few of your favorite cards that you like to use and things of that sort. Can you actually share some of your favorite cards to use as far as like cashback, travel, and things of that sort?
Alright, so I ain't gonna talk about no favorite cashback card because technically I don't really advocate for them like that.
Cashback?
Yeah, it's trash.
Okay, well in your answer, I kind of want you to say why.
Alright, so cashback cards, I mean, you have, unless they piggyback into a reward point system, I don't really see the point to them. That's my personal opinion, okay? I don't see the point to them. Because the value of the cash is limited to the value of the cash. Reward points cards, I like them better because they're flexible. Like, you can do more with them. So, like, unless that cash back card can be converted to reward points, I don't really care for it as much. Like, I like it if I'll use them, but it's not going to be my everyday spend because it's not something that's actually paying me. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing with it. So if I have $500, I can only do $500 worth of activity with that cashback card. But if I have a reward points card, like my Built card, or my Chase card, even my Amex card, that same amount of money that I would spend to get $500 in cashback, I could get maybe $2,000 worth of travel out of that. So I'm going to lean more to reward cards that give me reward points than cash back because I can get more out of it. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm looking like recently, I told you I recently had a trip. I'm supposed to go to Paris, right? The ticket that I essentially got is a $3,000 ticket, business class, right? I'm not sitting in a 12, 13 hours on a plane.
Big bougie.
Nah.
Yeah.
Told you that, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I only spent $200 for that ticket plus 40,000 points, right? It was 41,250 points for that flight. Technically, the cash value of those 41,000 points is about $412 plus the $200 that I spent. So if I had that same spend, that would have been about $600. I couldn't buy that ticket in cash with the cashback card. You get what I'm saying? I couldn't take that money and do that. But because those points are way more flexible, I can get more for it. It's like I'm literally going to the store. It's like, okay, if you go to like Saks Fifth Avenue, they're like, oh, they got this Louis shit, right? Or this Louis jacket or Louis bag, and they're like, okay, if you buy it with your points, it'll be 50,000 points, but if you pay cash, it's $10,000. Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah, you can do way more with 50,000 points. So.
You can do more with 50,000 points than I can with the cash back, essentially, because it's tied to it.
You got me looking at it totally different.
Yeah, it's a way. Yeah. It's about relationships. So when we talking about
like, for every dollar I'm spending, I'm getting.
You getting
2 times my cash.
You getting 0.02%. Exactly, you get your 2% back, but it's like, all right, you get your 2% back, but how long it's gonna take you to get to anything?
Right.
You gotta spend a lot of money.
Yeah, you do. And
then that's just cash. Like cash is cash. There's no multiplying. You know what I'm saying? No, it's cash is cash. But with the points, they have an intrinsic value and they have a multiplying value. So where there could be a flight like. Last year I was going to my sister's wedding. The cash price for the ticket was like $800. not on JetBlue, but it was on Delta, right? It's like $800. And then when I looked at the actual points, I needed 13,000 points and $90. Round trip, it would have been 26,000 points and $140. So I'm getting half. That's going to Jamaica. And the reason why it's that high is because of taxes and fees.
Right.
But that's half of that. So it's like, okay, I would rather take those points and put it there.
I get you. It's more bang for your buck.
I get more for my buck. Because technically to get $800 in cash back, depending on the card, that's 2%. You want to do an equation and figure out how much you had to spend to get $800? Let's do that.
Not worth it.
I can't think about the top of my head, but I can do the equation real quick on a calculator. So that would be like, hold on, I got y'all. $800. Let's go let's do $850, right? Times 100, because 100% divided by, what was it, 2% card? 2%. You gotta spend $42,000. $500.
Hey, you gotta spend yearly salary just to get $800 back.
Just to get $800 back.
No, that
don't make sense.
Whereas, even if you just like, all right, I'm gonna use this Delta card or this Amex card, right? And I'm gonna get this ticket on Delta. Well, I'm gonna use American Express Gold card. Technically, if I spent $10,000 on groceries for the year, or even for a couple of months, because groceries if I spend $10,000 at gas and groceries, that's a multiplying category. So now 10,000 times 4 is 40,000. I already did less work.
Yeah. So that's a gem. Rewards points. I'm gonna try.
Yes, it is.
Like I know people that like put anything that you can on a credit card. They just build up the points and they just using
gas. All that can go in there. Absolutely, market.
It's anyway. If you're gonna spend the money anyway, you might as well get something for it and something that you can use in the future.
Definitely want to stay away from debit cards and stuff like that.
You get nothing for it.
Right, you get nothing for it.
To be honest, there's an issue going on right now. I don't even know if y'all understand, if y'all even heard it, but so I want to say it was like maybe 8 or 9 years ago. Debit cards used to get reward points. Like there was cards that they like debit cards. They had like cashback kind of debit cards, stuff like that. Because technically, once you swipe that credit card or that plastic, them companies making money off of convenience fees.
That makes sense.
They make money every time you swipe, so they want you to swipe
from the stores.
They make money. That's why you ever notice sometimes they be like, "Oh, if you're paying cash, we don't charge you this and nothing." Like they make money off the convenience fee, so they make money every time you swipe. Don't matter, they making something, and people swiping every single day.
Yeah.
They used to have debit card rewards, and Congress did some weirdo stuff, and it got taken away. They trying to do the same thing right now with credit cards.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's some law. I forgot what the guy's putting it up. It's some law they trying to put into place. I don't think it's going to pass, but it's a problem because it will put in jeopardy credit card points. And once some credit card points get put in jeopardy, a lot of them companies not going to like it because a lot of these companies make money. They make a lot of their money. They became banking institutions. Because they making money off when you swipe too.
Right.
If I got American Airlines,
right on the street is American Airlines, and like a lot of the flight people is banks.
Yeah.
So it's just like
they make money off that when they put them credit card products out there, and you're swiping your card left and right. Like they're making money off that. So the only reason why I want to even use your product is because I want to use this now to travel for free later.
Right. Exactly.
But if I'm not gonna be able to get that benefit, what's the point?
How soon, if it did take effect, I
feel
if
like
it did get passed, how soon would you say it take?
I feel like it would trickle in. I know they got a lot of polls online. So if you see it online and you see a signature, like if you see a post, kind of protesting it, sign it. I'm telling you right now, sign it because nobody got time for that, man. It's a whole thing right now. Like it's a whole thing, and they're literally like putting it to where people like they want to. It's I hate when I freeze up on what it is or if I blank out, but they want to put it out to where like they feel like it's disproportionately hurting certain people. So but that's not particularly true. So they want to make it to where it like not balances out, but it invalidates the points, which essentially will make the credit card companies take it away.
Right.
But listen, the whole point is that if you use it to your benefit, it works. If you don't use it to your benefit, it don't work.
It don't work. I think it's crazy that whenever we, meaning black
Yo,
people,
get into something heavy, bro. I'm gonna find it for you, bro.
I think it's crazy how every time when we start to get in on the games that they've been playing for years and things like that, they start adding extra rules and regulations and white collar crimes and stuff like that on it when they was doing it for essentially years to like get ahead and advance. But now that we got the knowledge on it, we becoming financially literate, they trying to take it away. And they already know what their next game and their next play gonna be. Like, we're like new to this essentially. Like, and they've been doing this for like years. Like, they already on to something, another like scam that we gonna be on. Like, well, not really a scam, but they on to the next thing of capitalism or whatever.
Got it. I remember it now. So it's essentially they're gonna push for lower merchant fees. Remember I told you, no matter what you do when you swipe, they make money.
Yeah.
So they're pushing it. It didn't pass in 2022, but they're introducing it again this year. Yeah, and if it passes, like it's gonna lower the merchant fee, and that's where that extra bump go for the points. So that's where they get the incentive. But once it's a credit card completion act, completely forgot. But once they're able to like decrease that, then it takes away from people who are actually leveraging these to travel. Like I know a lot of people who go on full vacation with their families for free because of these points. Like they're able to live. I'm able to travel like I make $10 million a year, and I don't make that yet.
Right.
And you would swear, like every time I travel, they're like, "Yo, you always in?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, you pay for that? That's crazy."
They been sore losers. They been sore.
Super sore, yo, get out my pocket, yo. Yeah. First of all, I didn't vote for you to do all of that.
Exactly.
I voted for you to finish that student loan, the repayment joint, that student loan forgiveness. Y'all doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. He tried. I signed on it.
He tried.
Yeah, I can say he tried.
Old fella tried.
I can say he tried. They took that down quick.
It was blocking.
Yeah, they blocked that real quick. Like, absolutely not. Like, no. It's because they already... And then this war with Ukraine and all that, it's just... It's adding into that $1 trillion debt.
That's still going on?
Is it?
Oh.
I don't watch the news, bro.
Yeah. It is.
I watch financial. I watch certain financial news and that's it.
Yeah, no, it's not done because Russia still got their foot on their neck. So that's
Ukraine getting help from a lot of places too.
Exactly.
Russia just
so if they like our country can't afford to let Ukraine go down, yeah, we can't.
Russia
we too prideful.
I mean,
I'm gonna mind my business.
That's why nobody came back and took their money out of our bank shot because it'd be war. But if we lose, if China and Russia decide to team up against us, we done.
I'm gonna mind my business.
Yeah.
I mean, they already do little shit here and there to benefit each other, low key, but
yeah,
I mean,
right.
Sometimes in order to fully jump off the porch, it really got to be worth it.
But they gonna have to be a juggernaut to like come again, because our military really would save us because we are in debt like a mug.
Well, everybody, our U.S. operate on debt though.
Yeah. Right.
Once they switch
that,
so
they advocate, but they're trying to find a way to move their currency over from
U.S. dollar being the international. Yeah, but that's U.S. been running in debt ever since they stopped being backed by gold, and they started being backed by the credit and debt system. Yeah. So
right.
U.S. dollar. That's why British pound is always gonna hold value because they still backed by gold.
Game.
The British pound. I don't know what the conversion is right now,
right.
But it's crazy compared. And the euro we used to be higher than the euro. We bought 1-to-1 with the euro too right now. Certain currencies we used to be higher than. Yeah. And it just the US dollar just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. I don't know what they doing over there. I just know that I need a part of this real estate before China buy all of it.
Right. Crypto gonna be booming in about 10 years.
It shouldn't take that long.
Right.
But I mean, if it do, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because the government, they want some regulations around that shit. They want to be able to subdue as much of it as they possibly can.
Before we get out of here, because it's been, I know people heads is spinning right now. So much that you have taught us, so much that I know you still got to get in, but we can always just bring you back for that because it's endless knowledge. You forever sharpening your blade every day. So
every day getting better
every
and
day
better.
we talking to a master here, but people need to know the importance of owning land. So with that being said, I know you heavy into real estate. And I know
getting there, I'm learning. I'm a
right,
student.
You learning about real
I'm a
estate and you
student.
getting into it, so you know the importance of it. Do you feel like the market right now is would you invest in the market climate today with the economy being the way it is and interest rates and the prices of housing going up?
There's always creative ways to get into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I ain't gonna leave it at that, but I could leave it at that. Like, if we always think of a traditional way to do something, then you limit yourself to how many options you actually do have. And the more I keep exposing myself to people who do more creative forms of real estate, the more I learn, like, there's way more out there. Like, I have a friend, she specializes in, like, literally finding deals, off-market deals. She wholesales, right? She don't need no money to do that. She don't need no credit to do that. She just has a wherewithal where she don't quit. So if 10 people tell her no, she don't go till she got her yes. Her one yes could be a $40,000 deal, right? So all of them no's was worth it. You just need one. And she specializes in that. I have another friend. He specializes in, going to tax lien auctions and finding real estate that way. Where now he's getting real estate deals for under $10,000, $3,000, $4,000, $15,000, right? His pricing could fluctuate. But he's getting into real estate for cheap, essentially, like discount. And he's able to acquire those properties and he can sell them too. Like, then I have another friend, she goes to auctions and buys her stuff, right? Another one, she's able to find land for certain amounts of money and then use government money. So, and she's teaching me exactly how she does that right now. I'm like, I could see myself doing that, right? So and then developing lands for, for affordable housing. Like, we think that there's one way. Oh, I get this house, I buy my main house, I use an FHA loan, I get a loan from a bank to get the house that I live in. But there's way more different ways of actually acquiring real estate that now you could. And I say my plan is to get a couple real estate deals that if I want to own a house myself, I can. If I want to continue to rent, I can. And those deals would pay for my lifestyle. Right. Those deals would pay for my overhead of my house. So it's not one way to skin a cat. Like, yeah, you could use an FHA loan where everybody thinks it's first time homeowners. When it's not first time home buyers loan, it's just the fact that you don't have a mortgage in your name. Like, it's not first time home. Like, oh, it's your first house you buy, use FHA. It's not, because you can get an FHA loan every other year. Right. So now you can use that. You put down 3.5% plus closing costs. So that's about. My mentor told me about another 5% for that. So he's like, yo, Shedah, you looking to get a house for yourself? Have about 8.5% of the purchase price in cash available. Like, have that proof of funds, right? So using that's FHA. Then you got 203K, right? Well, now your house need rehab. If you find a house and if you get approved for FHA for that, you get a 203K loan. You can get the rehab factored into your mortgage. So now if you buying the house for $200,000, but it need another $200,000 worth of fixing, you get the mortgage for $400K, and they will finance and now your mortgage is on the $400K, right? So that's another type of loan, but that's like primary residence. So you can get that for primary. You can get that, up to 4 units. So now if you were doing that thing people call house hacking, right? You live in one, you rent out the others. You live in one, you short-term rent to the others. You live in one, you Airbnb to others. Whatever you want to do, now that those other incomes will tie into and help you pay your mortgage. So now you either living for free or you living for less.
There you go. But
there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. So the more that I learn, like, I got into a real estate deal. I'm a partner in an apartment complex. I've never been there. Don't really care to. But the check comes.
Passive.
So that type of thing, like, there's a lot of different ways to get into real estate that the traditional, the traditional is almost like the last thing you want to do. Not saying that you don't want to try it, but if you get a multifamily, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a realist, like, I'm not yet. Sorry, my mentor. Sorry, Maya.
Not yet.
I'm not yet, because like I said,
Okay.
I will learn from people who are doing what I want to do,
Right.
or learn from people who are who are moving in that direction, or they're ready.
Absolutely.
And because I'm such a student, like they be eager to teach, because I catch on quick and I'll implement faster. So it's like
you and your apprenticeship.
yeah, like I get excited, especially when
Yeah.
it makes sense to me. Like some
Yeah.
stuff I listen to, I'm like, yo, that don't make
I
no
love
sense
it.
to me. It didn't resonate with me.
Mhm.
That's why I said also abundance, right? I was around like 10 women who killing it, and only 2 of them really resonated with me, and 1 I'm rocking with,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because it made sense. Now the other ones, they was great. It just didn't click for me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody got
So-
a different method of life.
So I wasn't their customer
Mm.
because it didn't click for me. But there were 50, 60 other people there, and they gravitated that way. But for me, I'm like, I could see myself doing this government funding projects, because I remember working and being in this field previously, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So like with real estate, like there's a lot of different ways you could do it. So many different ways. Airbnb just opened up more because now people are renting out their rooms, garages, right? Some people are renting out, they building additions to their houses. They have an extra unit. Now they're not even putting it on. People are even renting out their apartments for podcast spaces, photo shoots. So now if you got a nice apartment, you make it look super luxury, you can set up as a luxury photo shoot. And now you literally charge people per hour to come take pictures. You could do $200 an hour and make your shit, make 2,000 in a day.
Yeah,
That's something that
And I know
definitely,
people
yeah,
who are doing that.
benefit
They set up a
from.
podcast space. They literally
Absolutely.
set up into 3 different
You got your
podcast
own
rooms.
studios.
And you have mini studios. You soundproof the rooms. Now you got 3 mini studios. You got and everything set up in there. So all they gotta do is come inside, they do their thing and leave. And you charge them $350 a day.
Things.
That's a solid. That's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
solid.
yeah.
People
Yeah,
are
I'm thinking
doing,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Like because technology has taken us so far and things are moving, there's different ways to make funds,
Right.
and you can do more. Some people are turning them into drop boxes. So if a business needs a virtual address or an address that's not attached, they're turning residences into addresses, so businesses could actually have somewhere where their mail goes, and they come and mail centers. You can turn an apartment to like there's so many different things that people are doing that you didn't think about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Even this. That's all real estate. So
That's
it's
all
like
real
now you really got, like, you really can't, if you're thinking about it and you're thinking about it closed minded, it's like, bro, you gotta wake up. Cause literally one of my homegirls, she has a luxury photo shoot in a house.
Yeah.
And people come in, they shoot content in there, in kitchens, in bedrooms, in the bathroom, in offices, and it's luxury setup. And she'll switch out the tables, switch out the colors, but it's $350 an hour. If you're in there for 2 hours, that's $700.
$350 an hour, exactly.
She only got booked that thing for 10 days in a month, and that's $7K.
And that's 7K.
Yeah.
She ain't do
That should
nothing.
tell-
She
that
ain't
should tell
do
you
nothing.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, like that should tell you.
If you rent her equipment or you need a photo, guess what she gonna bring? A photographer, and she got an affiliate off that.
Nothing. Like some girls just pop up and be like, "I just want to do a photo shoot just to remind myself who the fuck I am." Like that's
That's
stupid.
it.
Out of the blue.
Right there.
That's crazy. when you
Right
really
there.
And
think
it's
about it.
crazy.
Yeah.
People do it with their cars. You got a nice car, you rent it out. I didn't even realize they was doing this like this. It's insane. So it's
Yeah.
like when it comes down to getting
Especially
into
like
real
prom
estate,
season and stuff
bro,
like
it's
that.
nuts.
Yeah, get crazy.
Prom season. I know that whole shit right there is. They don't play about prom these days.
prom
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
no,
wedding.
We was going to
It's a-
prom.
yeah, yes.
It
It's a
wasn't like
wedding
that.
now. It's a
When
wedding.
When we was going to prom, bro, you had to hum a limo and you was
Yeah,
fly.
that's
right.
Now each person got a Benz. I don't get it.
Everybody got raised.
Like, where they
I don't get it.
Getting their money from.
I don't get it. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm not
Right.
giving, I don't care what happened in life. I'm not giving my kid no $100,000 car
Right.
to go drive on a night. I know you're supposed to be lit. I was
Yeah,
lit
no,
in my
real
prom.
shit.
Right.
Do not put me
Right.
behind no wheel.
No.
Yeah, real shit.
Absolutely
I had a
not.
driver for mine.
Have a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So, so that's the real estate part. Like, there's so
Okay.
many ways to be creative in it that now it's like, yo, if you think in one track mind, like
Right.
old school, 30
you
years
literally
ago,
missing out.
you missing
You
out on
missing
the bag.
on another stream.
Housing, bro, housing adult, like even getting contracts with the government. Like, all right, I'm a house veterans. They paying per bed. I'm a house homeless. Oh, I don't want homeless in my house.
Getting into that.
Your joint empty. What you complaining about?
Exactly.
Or I'ma house veterans. I'ma house people with disabilities. If they get Medicaid, they'll pay you for them to be housed.
Yeah, she talking about turning the house into a
Group
house
homes.
for veterans. Yeah.
Halfway. Like there's so many different ways now that it's
So
like,
many
yo,
different ways.
if you sitting there thinking about it, like you just the more creative you get.
Right.
Like honestly, the luxury home joint, that joint blew minds. In a positive way. I'm not hitting.
The way you put it out there, honestly, see how it's like.
How popular a podcast now? Say you had a 3-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, and you just turn that into a dead ass office space. Like, all right, I'm gonna soundproof these rooms. There's gonna be 3 different podcast settings, and if you want to rent the podcast XYZ, you come in $200 an hour. Matter of fact, $150 an hour. You got 3 rooms.
Right.
Should the average podcast give you about 2 hours? That's
300
times 3.
Right.
You looking pretty.
That's
good.
what I'm paying now when I go to my spot.
With even
It's
just time.
It's $339 for me to go in the studio.
That's not bad.
Yeah. That's
if you
crazy.
have the equipment already, you could charge them for that. If they don't have the equipment, they bring their equipment. You already have the setup.
Right.
It's not going away. You put a camera in the hallway. You lit. Make them sign something. Like, come on. That's for if you got that booked halfway out the month. What's 450 times 15?
450 times.
Calculate that. I don't expect them. My brain on Fritz.
Absolutely.
That's $6,700. That's off half the month.
Good money.
And that's not even real wear and tear on your apartment.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They got a shared bathroom, shared kitchen.
Right.
You can put a meeting spot in the front where the guests stay until it's time to go inside. That's half the month.
Right.
If you booked up every day, and that's only
Half
2
the month.
hours.
The time
Remember, I said 150. That's 150
Yeah, what you yielding for the time?
for an hour. So if you do even
that's not
2,
for the time.
that's for 1 hour for 3 rooms.
Right.
If you got that, 150 times 2 is 300. Times the 3 rooms, that's 900.
Right.
Times the 15, you just went up to 13.5. And that's just saying 2 hours a day, it being rented half the month.
Right. Yeah, you do a 2-hour minimum. When they book. Facts.
One come shoot your chorus, one come shoot your content, one host your podcast.
Yeah.
For somebody who don't have money for its
We
equipment.
discussing people just into it a higher clip these days. Like every time you get on TikTok, social media, it's like you're gonna see any of those things on your timeline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Yeah.
So just real estate is all around you, man. You born in it, you die in it. So
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no way of escaping it, so you might as well
get part
invest
of it.
in
They not building no more, and land don't ride.
Hey.
They ain't making no more.
Right. And the smart people buying up all the land.
Exactly.
As you can see.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Land is how you create generational wealth.
Yeah, that keyword again, that buzzword.
Yeah. So one more thing. Before we get out of here. How important in a relationship
12:43 a.m.
Crying.
is that right? How that's crazy. How important is financial stability in a relationship, and does it and is a man supposed to
God.
got to. So is the burden more on a man's shoulders than the woman, or you feel like in today's age it is kind of even kill with it?
All right. I'm gonna say this.
Mancave parlay.
Come with your own shit, man. Come with your own shit.
Uh-huh.
I hate that talk with I want a 6-figure dude, 7-figure man, da da da, and
But
you barely make $30,000.
Right.
Like
You ain't got that at all.
you gotta attract that kind of energy.
Yeah. Right.
Cause even if he not making 6 figures right now, there's something about a dude who's ambitious enough to get there,
Right.
or a person, I would say. And if you satisfied with your 30,000 and you feel like you don't have to bring nothing else to the table besides your body and your 30K,
Right.
you need to go sit down somewhere.
Right.
Cause it's not it. It's something about a guy that will, ambitious spirit behind a guy that will get him to 6 figures or 7 figures. And there's something about that in a female as
the
well.
The energy is manifesting it. You can see it.
You can see, it's like he's a thought leader.
Yeah.
That conversation is so broad and crazy.
It is. It's absolutely insane.
When you really think about it,
it's situational.
The average people fall in love. They don't even measure that type of shit. Like when you really like somebody, whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10, you're not really thinking about like, oh, how much money this nigga make. I feel like you don't really know how much money somebody make. You just know somebody work.
No, real talk.
You don't know what they make.
I feel like if you talking anything, if you're entertaining the idea forever with someone or marriage, you're signing a contract with marriage. So I always equate that to business. I think marriage is business. So I think finances do need to be right.
So I put it like this, right? All right. Y'all remember, it's not Cosby. Remember the show In Living Color?
Right, yeah.
With Dwayne and Whitney, right?
Yeah.
She asked him, and he was like, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was like, you know, would you stay with me if I was broke, this, that, or that? And he was listing out his qualities. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially, and he wasn't say he was broke, but he didn't have money at the moment. He was working, he was building. And Sheree knew the kind of man he was. That kind of man will never be broke. Because that kind of man who's ambitious, that kind of person who's ambitious, they'll never be broke. Like, there's a difference between a dreamer and a doer.
Right.
And an ambitious dreamer will sit there and dream all day. Talking. But an ambitious doer has the ambition to do it and will execute on it. So that type of person, it don't matter what their finances is right now.
Yeah.
They won't be broke because they'll get there. And they're taking steps. Now, you as the partner, if you are building behind them, they'll get there faster.
Right.
If you're breaking down behind them, they're walking on gravel. So in that, if you're looking to, I want this type of dude, what kind of person are you to attract that?
Right.
Because they also have to see something in you that will propel them forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think
that. If I'm high value, why wouldn't I go for a high value?
Hear that Kevin Samuel talk.
Right.
Rest in peace to the GOAT.
Yeah. But he was on to something with that.
He saying some I was weak.
Yo, no, one time, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I just seen one of his interviews on TikTok earlier. And I think the girl had said, she had pronounced something like, yo, how else would you pronounce certification?
Certificate?
Like how, think about how else you probably could
certification.
Like the way she said it, he was like
certification. I don't know.
Nah, hold on, we about to pull it up. I know we on, but I gotta do it.
Is it on the same tier of that KG?
Bro, it's probably worse.
It's worse than KG.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels, bro.
Was she jacked it up real bad?
Yo, she botched that word on a different.
Certifications at the end of the day, like.
You have what?
That's besides the point.
You have what at the end of the day?
I have certifications.
What does that mean?
Like for instance, as in aesthetics.
Say that again. You have what?
I have certifications.
Certifications?
Yes.
Certifications?
One of them being
certifications?
Yes, certifications.
Certifications.
Oh, I mean, I do have certifications.
Certifications.
Yeah, certifications.
Besides the point.
You have what at the end of the day?
So
you said that too.
Give
not
nothing
equal at all.
And
it's very like how you was just speaking about evolving with the real estate and things of that sort. Relationships have evolved where women now have the means to, like you said, make sure that man does not walk on gravel or do everything by himself if you know that he's ambitious. But I feel like a woman, honestly, that see that in a guy out here trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together for their family, I feel like she naturally just going to get in that position and kind of help him.
No.
You don't think so?
If she's not that type of woman.
No, not if she that type of woman. But if we speaking on people who are attracting each other.
I know. I mean, people are attracted to pretty things. It could be pretty and hollow.
Okay, it's definitely people.
I know people
because of money, for sure.
I know people in relationships where they got married, had kids, the husband's working dog to the bone, the wife is lost, and the husband's frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What is that?
I feel like either
They was
way,
attracted
like,
to each other at one point.
Right.
Had a kid,
Yeah.
and cause he a loyal kind of guy, he gonna be around.
Gonna
But
stay, yeah.
but wife,
But damn, I made a mistake. Yeah. Right.
what you doing?
Yeah. Right.
At this point, you should be helping me build the empire.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, we just
You
swimming.
don't think it's communication? You don't think?
You can communicate all day with somebody who don't want it.
That concludes another episode with Mancave Parlays. Welcome. We got Shedah, Shadd. We had a great conversation. If you're taking anything away from this, Shedah is a person that is constantly sharpening her blade in her constant apprenticeship, road to mastery, never taking anything for granted, wanting to learn, wanting to find out more, being humble enough to know that she doesn't know everything, but she knows every day that she gets to walk this earth, that she's going to get better at her craft. She's going to become more financially literate because she wants to create generational wealth. That is where we're at. We're not in the times anymore where it's okay for us to continue to be financially literate. There are resources, there are books. They're giving us the game out here. These are tools. So if you're watching this, I just want you to get that away from it. We often feel the way we feel about capitalism, but you can't hate on the game. It's here to be played. We got to use it in a way that suits us, our personal objective, our goals. We trying to create something for our lineage, our bloodline. We keep bringing more kids into this world and setting them up for failure in the same ways that we were set up. So we want to break those generational curses. We want to start teaching them the stuff that we're not learning in school. I'm a business major, and trust and believe, half the things that I'm learning financially, I'm learning in real time through the real world, not through that 4-year program and that degree and all that debt that I accumulated. So that's what we want to, start doing moving forward. We want to be more aware of our spending habits. We want to find the people who are the people like Shedah that don't mind giving a game and don't want to roadblock us on the way. This is for our people. This is for all people. So we just need to be more financially literate. We need to be aware of our spending habits. And we need to create better opportunities for our kids and our lineage to succeed going forward. Hey, the other side is doing it. They're going to continue to do it. So how about we start doing it for ourselves and we start thinking about capitalism in ways that we can utilize it for our communities in a way that we feel like it'll best serve us going forward in life. So I'm Roc Writah. This is another episode of Mancave Parlays. We're going to see y'all next time.
Anybody can get it, that's where my mental at. This ain't just how I'm feeling, that's where you found me at. We was bumping no ceilings and fell in love with rap. Turning something from nothing, you gotta channel that.